What's going on YouTube? Welcome back to another video on the channel. In the last 30 days, I made over $16,000 running one of the most saturated products in the organic dropshipping space. If you don't believe me, here's a quick little refresh for the haters. But in this video, like I said, we're going to be talking about how I personally make over $15,000 a month running some of the most saturated products in the space. If you guys are new here, my name is Kevin. I do organic dropshipping, and over the last couple of months, I've been able to make over $100,000 with this business model throughout different products. And now I'm at a point where I built enough capital to actually start my own brand, where I'm essentially documenting the whole journey on my YouTube and also able to hit days like this. So again, in this video, straight value. There's not going to be no course I'm selling you, no BS, just straight value. So again, if you have a pen and a piece of paper or a notebook, I highly suggest that you take some notes, because again, we're going to be talking a lot about saturation and how it's not what you think it is. Okay, so if you actually watch this video and you pay attention to the whole entire video, you don't have TikTok brain, you can actually watch an entire YouTube video without, scrolling on your phone or texting somebody, then this is exactly what you're going to be learning. Okay, you're going to be learning how to run saturated winning products that make money. Okay, you're going to be learning the exact strategy on how to be able to do this effectively with your business, and how I've personally been able to beat all of my competition. Because yes, when it comes to running winning products, typically you're going to have competition, and in this video I'm going to be teaching you exactly how you can outcompete your competition to where you don't have competition. Because at the end of the day, I truly believe that the 1%ers of organic make the majority of the money. But it's stuff like this that's actually going to teach you how to get to that point. All right, so a lot of my students have been asking me and telling me, Kevin, there's a lot of saturation when it comes to my product. How do I go about it? And this is exactly what I do. So most of the time when you start, you're going to be saying, it's too saturated, I can't run it. But the majority of the products that are being ran in the organic dropshipping space and even in the e-com space have been ran before at some point in time, or are being ran by multiple people. Okay, this is just the reality. It's not that the product saturation is impossible, or I'm not saying it's impossible, but it would take so much more than what people think for that to actually happen. So what I have down here is a perspective breakdown for you guys. Okay, so basically what I did is I tallied up the total population of South America and the total population of North America. I added it up, and this is a total of 800 million people. So hypothetically, right, let's say that I sold $10 million worth of a $60 product to 800 million people. So in total, this would only be 166,000 people if somebody were to buy that product just one time. Okay, we're not going to take into account the people that buy multiple products. Okay. Later, what we go ahead and do is do a simple equation. We do 166,000 divided by 800 million times 100, and then we get the percentage, right? So if we actually made $10 million selling a $60 product to 800 million people, that's almost a billion people, that is only 0.02.1% of the population. So when you actually think of this, you're like, damn, bro, saturation isn't even fucking remotely a thing, because it's really not, right? And it's really hard for it to actually happen, right? So this is kind of like a quick little perspective breakdown so you guys can actually understand if you're more of a visual learner. Okay, so, this isn't math class, Kevin. What are you doing? All right, sorry. But essentially, we need to understand saturation before we talk about anything, okay? Because again, saturation is a big word when it comes to e-com, okay? So I got 3 scenarios for you guys. Okay, so a certain product can be saturated on one platform like TikTok and not on Instagram. Okay, so you see this all the time. Typically when you're scrolling on your burner, you might see a certain product like 15 to 16 different times, but then you go on Instagram and it's like completely untapped, right? This is actually a real thing. Some people only run certain products on one platform and just completely neglect the other ones. I don't know why. This is crazy. By the way, if you guys are new to organic, you should be posting on every single platform: TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, whatever it may be. You got to be omnipresent. Okay. Another situation that you got to think about as well is like a product could be saturated in one market like the US and completely untapped in another like the United Kingdom. So let's say I was running up a product, right, in the South American, all right, maybe not the South American market. Let's say, like, realistically, I was running up a product in the North American market, right here. And then I took this product into South America, and then boom, we have a completely untapped market that has never seen the product. We already have validation because it's a winning product, and then boom, we print, okay? And then the last thing I want to talk about, and I actually talked about this in my previous video, 2 videos ago, is if there's a really big account on a particular platform, the algorithm will favor their video contents more since they have a bigger following and we're the first to get to it. So typically, if you are running a untapped product and you have the biggest account on that platform, you'll see this like a lot on TikTok. You actually get to own that concept and that product most of the time. So I've actually personally done this, and I show you guys in one of my videos how you could actually do this, because it's actually a real thing, and this took me months and months and months to learn. But you could essentially own a product and own a concept in a particular platform and completely take over the market. All right, so this is like an actual real thing. Okay, so now that we kind of understand a little bit about saturation, there's a lot more components, but this is kind of like the main 3 things that I'm thinking of on top of my head. But now that we understand saturation as a whole, right, I'm going to be showing you guys 4 different ways to compete against your competition. Because like I said in the beginning, you know, typically when you are running a winning saturated product, in quotations, there's going to be competition. All right, so there's 4 main things, and I'm going to be starting at the level of, I'm just going to be, I guess, noting them down by the level of importance. So the first one that we're going to go ahead and dissect here is the marketing angles. Okay, so marketing angles are absolutely massive. Okay, so when it comes to marketing angles, right, not everybody buys a particular product for the same reason, right? There's different reasons that people buy a certain product at the end of the day, right? Let's think, like, let's say I'm like trying to buy like, you know, a watch, right? Somebody might actually buy a watch. Damn, this thing's like broken, but you know, let's say someone's buying this watch because they want to look cool. They're buying this watch to actually tell the time. They're buying this watch because it's more affordable than a Rolex. Or maybe it solves a problem. Maybe they have a problem where they don't have a certain status in when it comes to their life, and so they want to rock like a cool watch and actually be a little bit cooler and, you know, solve the problem of them not getting girls, right? So again, there are different things why there are different reasons why people buy different products, and these are all psychological angles that you can tap into when it comes to running your product. So again, it could be time, money, coolness, or an actual problem, right? So I'm going to actually show you guys an example of a product with 3 different marketing angles that I want you to actually take a look. So pay attention, right? So here we have the first marketing angle. I'm going to go ahead and just show you.
Let him cook now. Let him cook. I said let him cook.
All right, cool. You get the gist, right? So this is kind of like a car dryer. It's a portable car dryer that you can pretty much use for your cars without actually denting or scratching it. And again, this is kind of like a very niche down product for people that actually need this, right? And as you guys can see in the comment section below, there's a lot of people that are like pooping on it, but also actually wanting it, right? So this is like the type of product that that you can go ahead and run and target, you know, people that are actually looking to do this with their vehicles, right? But then we look at the second marketing angle right here, ran by another account, and just look what they do. So obviously this is like a smaller version of that same product, a little bit different looking, but it's the same thing, guys, I promise. So essentially what this guy did was like, all right, let me go ahead and target people that smoke and, you know, want to smoke inside of their house. And basically what this guy did was he came up with this like very creative text hook saying that my mom will never catch me lighting up incense candles again. And this got over 1.4 million likes, over 8,000 comments. Super, super cool video when it comes to targeting this specific type of niche, if you know what I mean, right? Don't want to get banned on YouTube, but essentially, a lot of people are like, oh my God, this is crazy. What type of candles? You know, they kind of get the gist here, right? So again, this is like the second marketing angle that you could do, or that somebody did with this product. And now I want you to take a look at the last one, all right? I think this is actually the same account, but look what they did. All right, you kind of get it. So basically, instead of like targeting people that, you know, smoke, people that want to wash their cars, this guy went the completely different route of actually, you know, using this as a tool to clean, you know, their computer, right? So if your computer is dusty, or even if you have like a really messy workplace, you can actually use this as a as like a device to, you know, get the dust away and clean and just, you know, be more efficient, right? So again, these are 3 different marketing angles that people have used with the same product, right? And I can probably name a couple more that you could probably use with a product like this. So again, I want you to start thinking, guys, like when it comes to running a product, when it comes to validating a product, you need to think about every single psychological angle that you could possibly tap into to make you money, right? Because at the end of the day, angles are everything. Marketing angles are going to be absolutely crucial to your business, and this is why it's like on the top of my list, right? So the second way that I like to compete against my competition, this is how I personally strive when it comes to my business, because the quality of content that I make, especially when it comes to my competitors, is like night and day difference, right? So I took this, I guess, I took this in my own business, right? Because I didn't necessarily change the marketing angle, but I completely just outdid my competition when it came to the quality of the content and the quantity, right? So when it comes to posting, right, especially on organic, this is what we do, you can compete on the quality of the content. So if you are really good at content, guys, and you have complete conviction that you can make better videos than, you know, your competition, go ahead and run the fucking product, right? Go ahead and go for it, right? And this is what I personally did. Another thing that you can compete on too is the quantity of content. How many times a day can you physically post while still keeping that quality of content, right? This is another thing you have to think about, because at the end of the day, right, we are relying on explosive marketing. We are relying on going viral, and, you know, our creatives, our ads are what will flood our business with traffic, right? So the more quality ads that we are posting on a daily basis, the more people will see our product, which will then lead to money in our bank. Okay, so again, if you have complete conviction that you can make better content than your competitor while still posting more than them, then boom, you're gonna make a lot of money. You're gonna actually be able to run the same product that they are, which is, you know, probably a winning product, and, you know, take a hold of like the market. And that's what I personally did. I found my product from my Instagram burner. You know, I saw that this guy was, you know, targeting a certain market, but the content and the quality, like, it was so bad, bro. It was so bad. And so I knew I had complete conviction that I can go ahead and compete against this guy. And this is why I was able to, you know, make 15K this month, because I completely outdid this guy on the quality and the quantity of content. This guy was posting like once a freaking week. Okay. The last two we're going to skim through is platforms and time. So when it comes to platforms, like I mentioned before, they're everything, right? If a product can go viral on one platform, let's say like TikTok, it will most likely go viral on Instagram, okay? So most people overlook this and don't understand that each platform is a new opportunity to run up a product, right? You need to be omnipresent. And so when it comes to being omnipresent, you want to be present on every single platform essentially at the same time. So typically when it comes to posting your videos, I tell all of my students this, is like, you're starting on TikTok, then you're repurposing to IG, and then you're posting to YouTube, right? Really depending on the type of product, right? And I'm going to be using a Scorpion Shot here as an example, because this is kind of like a very kid-friendly product. And so Scorpion Shot, he has the biggest account on TikTok. He has over 500,000 followers, 4.6 million likes, lots and lots of views, and this guy made over 6 figures with this product alone just on TikTok, right? But then somebody like me was like, oh, I can probably take this product and go ahead and target people on YouTube, especially with like the lower and younger target or demographic of kids that watch YouTube Shorts. Let's be honest, they're all kids. And he took the same product, he put it on YouTube Shorts, got 1.78 million subscribers. I mean, just look at the amount of views, 60 million views, 23 million, like insane amounts of views. And this guy actually made over 7 figures with this product on this platform. Can you believe it, on YouTube? Yeah, I know, right? It's crazy. But basically, there is so much room for opportunity when it comes to bringing a winning product to a new platform. Like, people just don't think about this. They think that, like, oh, just because it's on TikTok, you know, it's probably saturated on Instagram, it's probably saturated on YouTube. I guarantee you, bro, that people are kind of, you know what I'm saying, and they don't repost their videos. It's kind of funny. And then lastly, obviously, we have Instagram, right? This is actually more of a recent account that I found. And as you guys can see, their language here, these guys are targeting people that speak Spanish. And this guy's already getting traction, like 4.6 million views, like about a week ago. So again, this guy decided to go ahead and target a completely different market when it comes to, a continent, right? So he's probably targeting like South America, while also, you know, taking a validated winning product to another platform, right? So this is like best of both worlds. You're targeting a completely different untapped market, and then you're bringing a winning product into a untapped platform, right? Like IG. So again, this really depends on your product. Again, most of the time people just don't even think about this, and I just want to let you know that this is actually a thing. Please start reposting your videos on every single platform. Don't forget, all right? Doesn't matter if they do shit. You'd be surprised, okay? And lastly, like I said, we have time, right? So if you are watching this video, you're a beginner, you don't have the amount of money that you want, and you have a lot of free time, this is actually something that you could use to your advantage, right? And this is what I personally used in the beginning, is how much can I grind and kind of obsess over this, right? Because at the end of the day, when I first started, I was posting like honestly 3 to 4 videos daily and just testing like absolutely crazy. I remember I was testing like 3 to 4 products on a monthly basis, and I was just being an absolute monster. And at the end of the day, this is just such a huge advantage to have this sort of time, because A, you have nothing to lose, you're broke, and B, you have all the I guess time in the world to just test your ass off, right? So again, this was what I was doing, and this actually ended up being like one of the best things I could possibly do, because my competitors couldn't even like outcompete me in terms of the quantity and the quality of content as well, because I was just posting like crazy. I was obsessing over this. My life was just organic. I stopped going out. I was literally in this room for the first like 4 months of my journey, just fucking grinding. And this is actually an advantage. So if you're watching this video and you are a beginner, okay, listen to me here. This is actually a huge advantage, all right? Because these really big brands here don't have all the time in the world, because they're typically running other products. They're too carried away with their current winner, and you know, they don't have that drive like you do. Okay, so what I want to tell you guys, and the final takeaway of this video, is that 99% of the time, product saturation isn't even a thing, right? You just need to think about all the different ways that you can personally compete against the competition that is running that particular product that you want to run. Okay, and this is exactly how I'm currently running multiple saturated products that bring me over 15K a month, right? So I'm currently running 3 products at the moment, and 2 of them are completely fucking saturated. But I actually look at this and I'm like, all right, can I outcompete this person on the marketing angle? Can I completely target a different angle, right? Can I, instead of, you know, talk about time, let's talk about like how cool you can actually be with this type of product, and also content, right? Can I actually make better content than my competitors at a higher scale, right? So if you can, you know, dial in on 1 or 2 of these 4 ways, then bro, you're gonna fucking print money out of thin air and actually be, you know, the #1 I guess competitor. And this is how you don't have competition, because if you're the best at something, you usually don't have competition, and you have to start thinking this way. So yeah, boys, a little bit of a quicker one for today. If you guys did enjoy today's video, drop a like, subscribe. Also, leave some feedback in the comment section below if I should continue making this style of content. And also let me know what you guys want to see for future vids. Apart from that, if you guys do want to take your organic dropshipping journey to the next level and personally work with me one-on-one, this is just some of the stuff I've been doing with some of my students. I got my guy Anthony here this week. He got his first ever sale with organic, and now he's doing consistent $200 days. Again, guys, this is going to be just me talking to you and us just pretty much dissecting your journey and your business. Okay, apart from that, you know, we're doing weekly calls with the guys, and we're pretty much just breaking down lessons just like this on a very detailed level. And again, this is just some of the, you know, some of the stuff I'm willing to share on YouTube, and honestly, it's like the tip of the iceberg when it comes to organic. So if you guys are interested and want to talk to me one-on-one, just book a call in the description below. But yeah, boys, this is going to be it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'm going to see you guys in the next one. Peace out.